Hello, Top Fan Rivalry. It is that time. It is Friday. That means YouTube. That means that's Jackson. That means I'm Bill. That means we're going to go through a little weekly review, which is a little bit unique this week because, well, let's face it, we only had the weekend games and then like a home run derby in a game. So, any- anyways, Jackson, I mean, like, it's tough to like break some stuff down, but we can break down the first half. Who knows what Jackson's gonna say with his, couple way through. Who knows what I'm gonna say? But let's get it started, Jackson. Walk me through it, my good friend.
Uh, you know, it's always fun to be here on the weekly review, but I think I'm going to start number one. Has that ball that O'Neal Cruz hit landed yet?
It broke some crap. I talked to Thomas. It broke a window past the chop house.
Yeah, I've never seen somebody hit a baseball that far
Mhm.
in Atlanta. I don't think we ever will again. 513 is a monster home run. I'm really glad O'Neal Cruz was in the home run derby. Look, he was my pick a couple years ago for a breakout, and he broke his foot. He's bounced back nicely. He's a respectable major leaguer. I'm going to say that. He's fun to watch. He's got all the fun tools. Sometimes can he not hit the baseball? Yeah, that happens in today's game. Three true outcome. You should strike out a lot. But hey, I love me some O'Neal Cruz. I loved him in the home run derby. I think, he's only 26. I think he still has room to grow and still be that 30-30 guy that we thought he could be at the freakish 6 foot, a million inches or whatever he is. The
Six foot
dude's
six
giant.
or 6'7".
6'7". Maybe 6'8". I think he's 6'8", but he's a fun player to watch.
Yeah, 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 exactly. So I'm gonna go with yeah, I like that, but I'm gonna go with wow. Some of those balls off the bat just sounded different. Forget about everything else. They just sounded different, right? And your good friend and my good friend Thomas was at the home run derby, and he said that very thing. He just said, Bill, the balls off the bat just sounded different, right?
Yeah. I think my favorite reaction to the home run derby night was I don't know if you were seeing Vinny Pasquantino's quotes uh, on on social media. Yes,
Yep.
I agree. Standing anywhere in the infield when that man is batting is doesn't sound like a good time.
No, no, not at all. Not at all. And I'm gonna go and say heads up anytime he touches a baseball, right?
I think standing in the outfield is also one of those. Yeah, no, I'm good. I think the last thing you want is an 118-mile-an-hour laser hit in anywhere in your general direction that causes you to freeze.
Yeah, 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 exactly, exactly. So, I'm gonna stay in the home run derby for a second, right, with you. I'm gonna say Mr. Junior Campanero. Okay, everybody, if you're not a Tampa Bay Rays fan, which a lot of you aren't, right? But if you're not a Tampa Bay Rays fan, you don't know about this guy. Well, now you do. Nobody knew who Pete Alonso was until he started winning home run derbies. Now they do, right? So let's talk through that. Are you kidding me? Right? Good old June. Good old Junior. What did you think about his performance?
I think Junior Caminero is exactly what Tampa Bay needs. Um, you know, Considering we're not going to talk about their last star player. He
Mhm.
doesn't deserve to be talked about. But I think Tampa Bay really leaning on guys like Caminero really kind of just sets the tone of who Tampa Bay is. Do you know Tampa Bay got him in a trade from Cleveland for a right-handed pitcher named Tobias Myers?
And how's Tobias Myers doing these days?
I don't know. I didn't even know that he was part of the Cleveland organization until this last week. You could have told me, oh, Tampa Bay scouted him. No, they scouted him from somebody else. So
Hmm.
it's crazy that how they can turn these, they're that small market, dream that everyone has. Every time you flip a player, you get another good player in return. And I think Caminero is like a prime example. He can play like every infield position. He's got some crazy power. I think the only knock on him is he hits into a lot of double plays. He's on pace to
Hmm.
break the double play record, by the way, which is a fun stat from the stats guy.
From the stats guy.
he's
You
on
gotta
he's on
love that.
considering I think Albert Pujols was the one who said it. But I think it's Caminero hits the ball too hard right at infielders. But yeah, I agree with you. I think he was fun to watch in the home run derby. And what's up with that kid robbing his home run? That's all I'm gonna say.
That kid, that kid, and Junior's like pointing and like it threw him off, and he had to take a timeout. I'm thinking, dude, it's one thing to get in the zone, it's another thing not to be in the zone, and you can't do that, homie. You can't do that. And
But
so,
got to be some sort of like party foul or something. Like, really? It was going over. You're supposed to let it go.
yeah, exactly.
But hey, that kid's the coolest kid in his friend group. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah, so I'm gonna go back to the coolest kid here comment in a second, right? And so we'll get back to that. I mean, because that's gonna be a fun one. But what you got for number two?
Number two, I was going to talk about a pitcher who wasn't at the All-Star game. Talk about Nathan Eovaldi and the first half he's put up.
Mm,
He's got a 1.58 ERA in 91 innings, only 16 starts. Got oh, sorry, had a late start to the season due to injury. He's missed a little bit of time, but he's been really good when he's there. He's only walked 14 batters in 91 innings, and it was kind of shocking. The MLB seemed to be grasping at straws for pitchers to start, not even start to pitch in the All Star game, and they didn't choose Nathan Eovaldi, which, by the way, he's only the second pitcher in the history of since the All Star game's been instituted not make the All Star game with an ERA of lower than 1.65 in 80 innings pitched.
okay, okay. So you're talking about Nathan. Listen, Nathan's good, but the pitching and how they select the pitching in the All-Star game is so unique to me, right? Because it's basically just the manager saying, I want that guy. I want that guy. I want that guy. Right?
It's just weird he wasn't even on the roster.
Yeah, that's true.
With the 15 alternates they go through for the pitchers every year. Nathan
Right.
Eovaldi.
Right. Completely understand that. Okay, so we've got that. Now, talk to me about another situation in the All-Star. This is my number two. Okay, you ready? My number two. What did you think about Dave Roberts pulling Clayton Kershaw out the way that he did so that he can get the standing O?
I didn't like it. Let him finish the inning. It's the All Star game. You're going to get the standing ovation regardless. And honestly, I think it's a cooler way to go out with the standing ovation with the crowd on their feet as you're walking into the dugout at the end of the inning.
Okay. Okay. So
That's just my opinion. I think what he did was fine, but I think it's cooler just you can kind of just drink it all in as the inning ends, doing what you do best, getting outs.
doing what you do best, just getting the outs.
Yeah,
I like it. I like it. Um,
but I do have a minor gripe about how the All Star game was managed. Uh,
okay.
how are you going to hit Shohei leadoff in Atlanta? Come on. All Dave Roberts had to do was flip him. That's all I'm saying. But it turned out pretty good.
I agree. I agree. I agree. Okay, so what do you got for number three? Because I'm gonna start rocking the boat a little bit here in a second. So
I
you're gonna be surprised at some of my call outs here. You're gonna love them, Jackson. I'm telling you.
I think I'm
What you
going
got
to
for
do
number three?
my last All Star Week mention,
Mhm.
which is the National League won for just the second time in 12 All Star games. As a fan of a National League team, it feels good. Um, it wasn't a home run derby swing off. I don't care. It still counts. Um, but anything to stop the tide of the American League for the past, it feels like 40 years now,
Mhm. Mhm.
just
Mhm.
beating up on the National League. But it feels good. I thought the All Star game was very entertaining. It had some big home runs, some good pitching performances. I thought the first inning felt very All Starry, where Skubal gets burned by you know a bloop and then an infield single. and then immediately punished with a double. It feels like that's what happens when you pitch against the best players in the league. So no knock on school, but I thought it was pretty good, fun back and forth game.
Okay. 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 I mean, I like the fact that the National League won as well. I mean, I I do like the whole breakdown. I do like the home run derby thing. Schwab has um all kinds of like he's got ice in his veins. That dude just crazy.
Kyle Schwarber's the only player I've seen in the MLB that never misses a meatball.
Yeah, yeah, no.
You'll see other guys just hack right through it. You throw him a meatball, it's gone. It's 450 feet. It's
Hmm.
off the bat faster. It came out of
Hmm.
it's in the stands faster than you can say, oh no.
Yep. Yep.
So
Okay, Jackson, you ready for my um are you ready for my illustrious third pick? I think this is going to crack you up. Okay. Besides for Cal Raleigh and besides for Kyle Schwarber, there was one guy that like shot to the moon with popularity. This dude is not going to have to worry about a date for the next 3 to 5 years. This guy's Friday nights are going to be packed with two dates, and Saturday nights, two dates, and on Sundays, he's going to relax at home. Do you know who that is?
I'm trying to think. No, I don't.
Cal Riley's younger brother,
Oh.
the catcher. When he's just telling his brother, dude, we got time, telling his dad, like directing traffic. Oh, leave that one alone. Like he was coaching there. And they were giving him so much pub on the freaking like the TV, the announcers were. I'm thinking this kid's 15 years old. He's going to go back to school in 2 days and he's going to be the most popular kid in his class. If he's got a girlfriend, he's breaking up with her right now because you know that he's going to have dates lined up. Not only is he Cal Riley's younger brother, but he got all kinds of publicity on TV. It was ridiculous.
I think he got a car. Isn't that what he was promised? If they won the home run derby, he would buy him a car.
Then I guess he gets a car. I
Yeah,
don't know, you know.
that's what I heard. That's why he was working so hard behind the plate. He really wanted that car from his older brother.
Yeah. His older brother got $1 million for winning the whole thing. But wasn't that was listen, if you're not romantic about baseball, how can you not be father and son and brother catching? I like, does
Yeah,
it get any freaking better?
I don't think it does. And that's what I heard from the interview. Cal Raleigh got the $1 million. He's like, "What should I do with it?" His brother's like, "You should buy me a car." And he's like, "All right, when you turn 16, pick a car out, I guess."
I'll take that Porsche right there, the one that drives itself. And I want some gas money, older brother. Come on, let's go now.
And now
No,
the
that
other brother's
was
gonna be like, "You're on your own, dude."
tell me that guy's popularity didn't just rise like crazy, that kid.
Yeah, he's yeah, you know what? You're right. He is actually probably the coolest kid, not the kid that robbed the home run.
No, no.
Poor
It's
kid that
when
robbed
you
the home
mentioned
run.
when you
Everyone's like,
mentioned
"Oh,
the
you were there?"
when you mentioned the kid that robbed the home run, I'm like, oh, please don't say anything about Cal Riley's younger brother. I want to like impress Jackson on this thing. This was,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, buddy. Ah, oh man, that was so much fun. That was so much fun to watch. Oh, Jackson, Jackson, Jackson. Okay, so before we go to number four, everybody, you have to know a little bit about what Top Fan Rivalry is doing. We're not going to announce everything that we're doing right now, but we've got so many things in the mix. So many things in the mix right now. If you're not part of the 27 ounce club, you need to get part of the 27 ounce club. You can pick your team. It's going to be awesome. Like, just go at it. If you're a card collector, that's the way to do it. Jackson, unfortunately, the Braves are now officially taken. Delaney has moved from the Red Sox to the Braves, so you can't get the Braves. But hey, you're close to Philly. You can pull Philly cards. You can. I
Eh,
mean, I don't know, but I mean, it's just a great thing. You get two box breaks for $27. You get a $5 coupon. It's awesome. So, I mean, you can use the code Jackson and get $5 off your first purchase. I mean, who knows, right?
You could
How
do
do you want
that.
to play that?
You could do that. You could get the Phillies. You could pull a Bruce Hooper card. I'm sorry,
Yeah,
Bryce Harper.
Bruce Hooper
Bruce Hooper.
with his water.
Yeah, it was Wada. Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I was showing Jackson before the show cards that we pulled from yesterday's break, and one guy pulled a card that he got in the 27 ounce club for 27 bucks. It was the first break of the month. He pulled one card that ungraded is worth 150 bones.
Pretty good pull.
Pretty good pull. Freaking amazing pull. Like,
I'm just joking with you, Bill. I
brother,
know.
please. Anyways. Okay, my friend. Okay. Here we go. What you got for number four, sir?
You know, I'm going to be controversial, and we're going to continue the Cal Raleigh train because here's my statement: Cal Raleigh should win MVP over Aaron Judge.
Okay.
And I know that's going to make a lot of people upset. Every Yankees fan within a 200-mile radius is looking for me right now because I said those
Yes.
out loud.
I'll give
Um,
you his address. He lives in Connecticut.
yep, that's where I live, Connecticut.
How about that, huh?
Instead of Connecticut. Yep, sure.
Yes.
You
Bristol, Connecticut. Just knock on every house, you'll find him.
know, but what Cal Raleigh has done from the catcher position this year is nothing short of amazing. 38 home runs before the All-Star break as a switch hitter,
Mhm,
playing in Seattle, playing catcher.
mhm.
This kind of offensive output, when you talk about, breaking down it, MVP isn't the best player award. Sure, Aaron Judge is the best player in the American League, hands down.
Mhm.
I will
Mhm.
not argue with that. I will not fight you with that. But the most valuable is probably Cal Raleigh and the bat he gives you at the catcher position. He's got an 1,000 OPS as a catcher, which is just mind-boggling. Mind-boggling. The Padres have Martin Maldonado, Bill, and that's acceptable. I just want to remind everyone that.
Here's the thing,
That's
Jackson.
the level of offense that is acceptable from the catcher position in today's baseball.
Okay, so here's the thing, Jackson. I'm gonna play devil's advocate on your number four, and I'm totally okay with this. I get where you're going with this, and I like it. Don't think that I don't like it. Okay, I do like it, but here I'm gonna play devil's advocate. Are you ready?
Yeah,
Okay, this is why I don't think Cal Riley's gonna win the MVP. Because right now Aaron Judge is hitting 355. Okay, Cal Riley's hitting 259. Okay, that's almost 100 points better. Now, if that stays for the entire season, it doesn't matter. And that's number one. Number two, unless J Rod stays hot, which he's been hot in the last week, unless he stays hot, if Seattle starts making a move towards the playoffs, you're going to see Cal Riley get walked an awful lot because who's going to hit behind him?
that's an excellent question.
I mean, so even though he has 38 home runs, he may only finish, he's only got 65 games left. He may only finish, and when I say only, that's a joke, but he may finish with 50 because they're going to pitch around him if Seattle's making any type of run. Now, if J Rod stays hot, now you got a problem, right? Now you got a big problem.
I
Um,
think I think those 65 games is what it boils down to. Do I think Aaron Judge is a 355 hitter? Probably not. He's probably closer to like a 300, 310 hitter. You know, he's still really good, which is still really good. But me just looking at the raw stats, Aaron Judge has 38 more total bases with 25 more hits, or excuse me, 35 more hits. They're all singles.
doesn't matter. He's putting
They're
the
all
ball in
singles.
play. He's putting the ball in play, Jackson. I mean,
I'm look. If you look at the walks and the strikeout numbers, they're nearly identical. The home run
huh?
and RBI numbers are nearly identical. The only difference is Aaron Judge gets to play the comfy, tiny confines of Yankee Stadium outfield, which is really easy, and Cal Raleigh's got to squat all game.
Well,
I'm just saying, if you're looking at it from a value perspective, Cal Raleigh's the MVP. I know he's
okay.
not going to be, but he's got my vote.
This there you go. Jackson's voting twice. He's gonna steal somebody else's ballot. Jackson, you know the sad part about all of this? You know what the sad part about all of this is? There's a really good player that nobody's talking about because of Aaron Judge and because of Cal Riley, and that is one Bobby Witt Jr. He's not going to even get talked about, and he's
Oh,
having an amazing season as well,
I know
right?
poor Bobby got shut out with first place votes last year, and he's not even going to sniff the top 10 this year.
Yeah. And it drives me, Jackson, it drives me crazy because he does. He's so good. He's so good. But again, as the 90s commercial said with your favorite players, the pitching duo, chicks dig the long ball, right? And
They
I
did.
mean, between two guys, you got over 60 home runs between two guys and just over a half a season. Bobby Wood Jr. is not even going to, I mean, he'll get a distant third because Cal Riley and Aaron Judge will be finding out. Now, here's the thing. If Cal Riley in the next 65 games can hit 20 home runs and get himself either close to or get him across the 60 threshold, then yeah, you're going to give it to him. But if Aaron Judge closes the season out hitting 320 um, with 40 or 50 more hits than Cal Riley does, and hits, ends up with 58 home runs, and Cal ends up with 53, game set match, right?
Yeah.
Game set match. So, okay, Jackson, my number four is also going to be controversial because, as you know, I live in Orange County, California. What are the Angels thinking passing up on Ethan Halliday? They had the number two pick overall, and they could have picked Ethan Halliday, somebody that could be young, that could work with Zach Neto, that could work with Nolan Shumwell, that can work with the young core, the Joe Odells. But instead, they picked a pitcher. And I talked to a number of people, and they said that they felt like the Angels just missed the boat or were trying to play it cheap and get something that was a little cheaper. What do you say, Jackson?
Uh, from what I understand, I'm not a big draft guy. I did a little bit of reading up before this draft. Uh, Underslotting seemed to be the popular thing to do among most teams because the draft was deep.
Mhm.
So if the Angels had a strategy, with their picks heading down, and they got the guys they wanted, I think their pick's a big win because they still got a guy that experienced college pitcher, throws 98, has good secondary pitches, doesn't take a lot of development. We know how bad the Angels' development has been.
Hmm. Hmm.
They're trying to get as polished of a product as they can to the major leagues where their coaching is the best.
Yeah.
I don't hate the move, but I do agree with you that at this point in the rebuild, you probably just need to go best player available,
Mm.
especially when you pick number two.
Yeah.
If the Angels were picking like number 10, no gripes there with what they did, but
Yeah.
they were picking number two.
They're picking number two. And a lot of beef, a lot of brouhaha here in Orange County about those picks. There's a lot of folks that don't like those picks, Jackson, or that pick. Now, it's a good feel good story. The guy's mom passed away recently from cancer. He's now drafted. He's drafted over number two. Ethan Holiday was at a game recently with his dad, Matt. Now, when you're looking at best player overall, stop and think about this for a second, right? You've got a pitcher out of UC Santa Barbara who throws hard and he's a good pitcher, but you can always get yourself more talented pitchers. You start winning, you're going to be able to recruit guys onto your team. You have Ethan Halliday, whose brother is currently playing and whose dad played and had a very good career, albeit a very Hall of very good career. But you've got the pedigree where you could bring this guy up as early as 2027. I mean, this kid is that good. And so I think the Angels missed the boat. But I mean,
Yeah, you know what? But I think Ethan Holiday went to the probably the best team for him, which is Colorado, a team that his dad played for, a team that he's somewhat familiar with, even as like a kid, but a
mhm.
place where he can hit.
Well, and see, and here's the thing. If I'm the front office for Colorado, we're going to lose 120, 130 games. And our problem right now is we've got some offense, but we just don't have pitching. I'm moving Ethan Halliday. I'm moving him for a major league pitcher or two that's ready, or a couple of one major league pitcher that's ready, one prospect, and another draft pick. But I'm moving him. I don't think that he will ever see Coors Field in a home jersey. But what do I know, right?
I think it was slightly a marketing move by the Rockies,
Yeah.
but also, he was the best player on the board. And when they were like picking fifth and it just kind of falls into your lap, you take best player available. You don't complain. You just go, oh, okay, thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. I was just surprised. I was surprised that he was able to get that far down in the draft. I figured he'd go maybe not one, but he'd definitely go two to three, right? But either way, he's going to sign. He's going to be happy. It's good stuff. All right, Jackson, we got about 5 minutes left in the show. What you got for number five?
Number five, let's just take a quick retrospective at where we are the second half starting today, Friday.
Hmm.
Uh, looking at it, I think the Division Two watch is the AL East. The Red Sox have made it interesting, 10 in a row, heading into the All-Star break. Can they keep it up? You know, I blasted them when they traded Rafael Devers. They proved me somewhat wrong here, getting back into the division race. Tampa Bay still hanging out there, 5.5 games back. The Yankees are 2 games back. Toronto is still holding on to first place, which is the most surprising thing. I don't think anyone picked Toronto to win the division, honestly, outside of Canada. But I think the AL East it's fun. It's something to watch, and I think no, I need you to not react strongly to this take. But I think you even need to watch the Baltimore Orioles, who have suddenly crept up to 7.5 back in the wild card bill. They're playing good baseball. They found their pitching. The bats are starting to get going. They're going to start getting guys like Adley Rutschman back from injury. Baltimore can make some noise in the wild card. So
I,
this division legitimately has 5 teams that you want to watch. 60 games left.
so here's my, I don't have an issue with what you just said about Baltimore. Here's where my issue comes in. Are you ready for this?
Yes.
Is they've got to win a lot of series. Everything is about playoff baseball at this point. They've got 65, 63 games left, whatever. So it's all about playoff baseball for them. By the time they get there, I'm not saying that they can't get there, but by the time they get there, I truly think they're going to be worn out and it might be a first round exit. And so, and then you've got some questions in Baltimore. We can get there, but we're always out in the first round, yada, yada, yada. And so, but do I think Baltimore can get into the wild card? Yes. Are they going to win their division? No, they're not going to win their division.
I'm not putting them in the division, but the wild card, all of a sudden, they're just kind of there.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
if you look at the teams in front of them, it's not like they're world beaters. It's the American League.
Right. Right. 100%. 100%. Well, everybody that's watching this on YouTube, that this is TFR Gracie next to me. She seems to think that every time I'm recording something that she needs to be a part of it. So pay homage to TFR Gracie, everybody. Hey. All right. My final one is which team, Jackson, do you think is going to fall apart first? Okay, there's three teams in this conversation: the New York Metropolitans, the San Diego Friars, the San Francisco Baby Giants. I don't know. Um, the San Francisco Giants, the Padres, and the Mets. Who do you think falls apart first? They're all right there in that wild card spot. They're all trying to make things happen. But who falls apart?
Honestly, I think it's the Mets. I think the Giants have played good enough baseball to be deserve to be where they are. I think the
Okay.
Padres, Preller's going to at the trade deadline make the team better, and I think it's going to fall on the Mets, who are kind of banking on their pitchers coming back from injury and dominating, and that's a risky proposition,
Yeah.
uh, especially when you haven't played super well over the last little bit. And it's going to put a lot of pressure on the hitters. They're in a playoff race. They're neck and neck with Philadelphia. It's a lot of pressure for a Mets team who hasn't done well under pressure in the last several years.
Yep.
And a lot of it's the same team. Just adding Juan Soto. It's pretty much the same lineup. So it's going to be tough for them. I think they're probably out of those three the team most. I know I'm a known Mets hater. Just gonna throw that out
No,
now.
no,
I think
I
the Mets
understand.
are the team most likely to fall apart out of those three.
I understand exactly where you're going with that, and I'm gonna disagree with you. Do you know what I'm gonna tell you? Do you know who I think is actually, I mean, if you were to ask me that question right now, and based on what I've seen over the last week, here's your wild card: Milwaukee, the Mets, and St. Louis, or Cincinnati. You are not going to see the Padres and the Giants make the playoffs.
I don't think the Cardinals lost 2 or 3 to the Braves. There's no way they're better than the Padres and the Giants. I'm sorry. I'm just gonna throw that out there.
So, but Jackson, my point being is that I think that you're going to see possibly the Giants and the Padres falter a little bit.
I like the Giants out of all three of those teams because they have a certified Cy Young candidate at the front of the rotation. They always have a stopper
Okay.
and Logan Webb. So it's going to make it really hard for the team to fall apart. It's going to take a lot for the wheels to come off.
Right. Yep. No, I listen.
Yeah,
I'm with you. I'm 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 with you. It's always interesting to see how things play out and how they fall apart and how they do good and all of the things. So, Jackson, I appreciate your comments. Okay. Any rapid fire things that you want to go through real quick?
uh, honorable mentions. You mentioned the Milwaukee Brewers. They're a team to watch in the second half. They've won 7 in a row. Their pitching staff is the best in the MLB. Their starting staff is really good. And I think they have some fun players to watch. I think Christian Yelich and Jackson Churio are fun, dynamic players to watch. I think Milwaukee, for me, is one of those sleeper teams in the NL. If they make it into the playoffs hot, they might go deep. They got all the stuff.
Yeah, a lot of stuff. I like it. Like it, Jackson. My honorable mention is I want to congratulate the Colorado Rockies in being the first team to 70. Congratulations, Rockies. Hats off to you guys. Good job. Continue the effort. Oh, wait. The 70 is in the wrong category, Jackson, right? It's the one on the far right, not the left.
Yeah.
Shoot. Never mind. Congratulations, anyways, for getting to 70. Rockies, we
I
appreciate
think
you.
I think the real question is what comes first, 100 losses or 30 wins?
Ooh, ooh, ooh. Now that's a good question. That's a
They have
good,
been playing better as of late, but what comes first, 100 losses or 30 wins?
yes,
Are they going to lose
yes.
26 more
Ooh,
games before they win 8 more?
ooh. You know what? I'm gonna post that online. I'm gonna say during
Yeah.
the weekly review this week, Jackson asked 30, 30 W's or 100 L's. All right. I like it, Jackson. I
I'm
like
just
it.
saying that's an interesting philosophical question.
Interesting philosophical questions. So there you go. Well, Jackson, thanks for as usual. Thanks for being like so cool and being so awesome. And I can't wait to do this again with you next week when we got baseball back in action. That's right. And we're going to do a couple other shows, Jackson, that I think you'll, if we can get you on, we'd love to have you on. So thank
All
you,
right.
everybody. Enjoy your Friday and make sure that you mash that subscribe button on our YouTube page. We'd love to have you. Talk to you guys soon. Have a good night all or day.